sincere apology behind schedule. Now, with the rising business opportunity in the country, Business News tonight will unveil some of these businesses that one can venture into and make ends meet. We shall also highlight their prospects, challenges, and how to discover some of these hidden businesses around us. Business News tonight will also feature other reports of the day. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Business News. My name is Joy Ubani. Note that this broadcast is reaching you live on Star Times channel 103 and on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube. Please do well to like and follow us. And now let's begin with security matters. There is need to provide security personnel with firearms and other tools for ultimate results in the fight against criminality across the country. Kevin Samuel reports that Governor Omeno made this known when the Chief of Army Staff visited him, where he also announced plans to purchase additional 14 patrol boats in support of this move. The reports.
In a speech, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, says he is in the state as part of familiarization tour of formations and units of the Nigerian Army, taking note of areas of concern with the hope of addressing same.
We ensure that we provide essential infrastructural support to brigade to operate effectively in Akwa Ibom State. And the government of Akwa Ibom State has complemented our effort by even constructing road. The Nigerian Army is the people's army. We are at your service. I understand the nature of security challenges in Akwa Ibom State. Low-level pipeline vandalism, piracy, militancy, armed robbery and the like. Our troops are available to work in concert with the civil authority and combat these challenges.
Appreciating the Army Chief for the visit, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umoeno, reiterates his commitment in supporting the Army and other security agencies to ensure improved security across the state. He is optimistic that with better welfare for personnel and modern security equipment, insecurity will be a thing of the past.
We feel that we can support the cause of security and strengthen that security in our state because Akwa Ibom has become a tourist destination, and we believe that security, of course, without it, nothing can ever happen. So we place emphasis on security. We have a single battalion, the 6th Battalion in our back, and will request the Nigerian Army to please think of establishing a 2nd battalion to complement the single battalion that we have.
The visit ended with exchange of plaques from both parties. From the government house, Suyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Still on security matters, officers and men of the 2 Brigade Nigeria Army have been assured of improved welfare packages, especially in the area of accommodation, while charging them to remain resolute and committed to duty. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, stated this during the inauguration of the 2 Brigade Headquarters Complex at the military cantonment Mbokoro 1 in Siribo local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Evelyn Badu Eko brings us the details.
The visit of the Chief of Army Staff is part of familiarization tour of units and formations of the Nigerian Army in the country. To officers and men of the brigade, the Chief of Army Staff called on them to maintain discipline and loyalty while noting accommodation challenges faced in the cantonment with a view to addressing their challenges. He expressed satisfaction that the land donated by the government in the cantonment is gradually being developed while assuring of federal government intervention to develop structures in the cantonment and payment of backlog life assurances of families of departed soldiers.
Conducting such operation must be guided by the rules of engagement and the code of conduct. Don't do what the army is not known for. As an army, you are known for discipline, and you must exhibit that discipline. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So continue to be disciplined, The challenge of not having your family here, we will address it as quickly as possible. And all other challenges will be addressed.
The was a tour of the 2 Brigade complex where he planted a tree commemorating his visit. The Chief of Army Staff had earlier visited Governor Moino, where he assured him of continuous security within the state. Evelyn Badu Ekpo, NTA News.
Away from security matter, the Ibaku village in Uyo local government area of Akwa Ibom State has lamented the level of destruction caused to its residents following the recent oil spill that occurred in the area. The community village head, Etudon Gabriel Mbeke, in an exclusive with NTA, says he has involved the government and agencies to mop up the spilled oil control, the devastation caused by the occurrence. Uwemedimo Samson has the details.
Report has it that Ibaku village in Uyo local government area, the village has 2 oil wells discovered years ago by a national company. The oil well was sealed, but later the village started noticing oil spill in the community. Villager of Ibaku, Etidon Gabriel Mbeke, speaks further on how the discovery was made.
Well, since the 50s, we come and discovered that the Shell company was cocked oil well about 2 here, one in the swamp and one here at the surface of the land. But the one that we surprised is the one that just split on the water. There's no pipe there, so we don't know how the oil just go underground. It's not one place. Today you can see coming out from this side. Tomorrow you can see coming out from the other side. Next tomorrow at the back of the strip. So there's no a particular place that they said it was a pipe blow or whatever, because there's no pipe there.
It is gathered that the spill, which occurred some days ago, has devastated large farmlands and led to the loss of aquatic life in the area. Meanwhile, when attention was drawn to a major spill, some villagers rushed to scoop the oil, but immediately the vigilante group was contacted to prevent vandals from taking advantage. The village head also briefed newsmen that the government has visited the location, while also waiting for relevant agencies for proper investigation.
We are still waiting for what the state government, federal government would do, even though we know that this is the federal government project, which they know, and are still waiting for them to come and send the drilling company to come to my community. It's not good for that thing to continue to split and dump us here.
It is the hope of the community that the government and relevant authorities, with a matter of urgency, will mop up the spill oil to cushion its effects. From Ibaku village in Uyo local government area, Uwemedimo Samson, NTA News.
And on to business news. Jackfruit, popularly called breadfruit, ukwa in Igbo and ekpa oyibo in Yoruba language, can be easily grown in a tropical areas. Is another emerging business that is bringing fortune to many people who ventured into it. Business News correspondent Kelvin Samuel in this report unveiled the prospects of jackfruit business.
Oftentimes, when seen on the street and some marketplaces, not many pay much attention to the heavily built fruits, as a large number of people don't even have an idea of its usage. However, those who have been in contact with jackfruit have a number of testimonies to share.
One of the things that can help us, is to boost agricultural development in the state, the entire value chain of agriculture, and that one of the places to start could be this jackfruit. It could be the wonder fruit, just as oil palm is.
Medicinal effects, not just ordinary fruit, has some medicinal effects, and antioxidants, anti-carcinogens, so that if you take it, it's very, very good for your health.
I just wish Winco could have a way of infusing this thing to our school system, where before you finish as a graduate, whether you're into engineering, you're in agribusiness, you actually know how to, this value chain products, you can actually get something from locally sourced products for it. And the good thing is this thing can actually grow anywhere in Akwa Ibom. So
if somebody eats jackfruit, at regular interval. It checks so many ailments. It purifies our body. Health-wise, jackfruit is okay.
Ememme is a conservation biologist who has been in the business of planting, growing, and turning jackfruits into different types of products for business over the years. She is convinced that the fruit has what it takes to cut down on the rate of unemployment if we're harnessed, while describing jackfruit as highly productive, resilient, and require minimal care.
You want to embrace jackfruit business, then of course it's going to be a plus. There is good profits in marketing business for business-minded and business-conscious persons who wants to do business with the jackfruit. Even if it's just to sell the jackfruit, in raw form, whether it's ripe, it's unripe, the raw is what people are using as exports.
She speaks on the health and environmental benefits of jackfruit.
It's loaded in antioxidants, and what that would do to any human would be to cleanse your internal system inside out and work, to regenerate your body system at the cellular level. Of course, you know that a tree can give you as many as 50 jackfruits in one season, so it's a beautiful thing to venture into.
Jackfruit can be prepared in different ways as food and snacks, and it takes about 3 years for the newly planted seeds to start yielding fruits. These fruits are needed globally for different reasons, and as such has what it takes to attract foreign exchange and improve the nation's GDP if given proper attention. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
The Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has described late Archbishop Elijah Mboro as a man whose life is strictly aligned with Christian virtues and epitome of kindness. This was at the funeral service in honor of late Archbishop of the Good News Community International Headquarters, Gospel Village, Abak, who slept in the Lord at 91.
A colorful procession by the family of the deceased and clerics from within and outside Nigeria set the tone for the service to honor a man who chose to dedicate a greater part of his life to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Those who have the responsibility of
The gathering here is an array of people from all walks of life, including the representative of Senate President, Akwa Ibom State Governor and wife, among others. In a condolence message, Senate President, represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Xavier Nyekere, says the life of the late spiritual leader serves as a testament to the unwavering faith, dedication, and profound contributions to the spiritual development of members of his congregation.
As we mourn his passing and urge you, the Good News community, to take great solace in the fact that his life tirelessly served his community, guiding them with wisdom, compassion, and grace. He was not merely a religious figure, but a source of inspiration and strength for all who crossed his path.
Governor Moino, on his part, describes the late Archbishop Mboro as a true vessel of God, having touched many lives for the sake of God's kingdom. He announced the adoption of the orphanage of the deceased as part of government's orphanage.
For decades, the church he founded, the Good News Community International Incorporated, was and is still a bastion of charity for the abandoned children, the less privileged, and a glittering community where rays of hope has replaced the darkness alleys of hopelessness and destitution.
We saw a father, a mentor, a teacher who believed in raising daughters in the ministry. He affected our lives.
He was a primus inter pares father in many dimensions. The first to found a gospel village in the entire world.
This was a man, a great evangelist with signs and wonders, following his ministry that we had already heard.
A biography of the late Archbishop indicates that the zeal of late Archbishop Mbo for the service of God and humanity was from childhood, although he was faced with oppositions and difficulties, but with God he was able to conquer. In a sermon, Archbishop Joseph Alexander advised the gathering to have faith in God and rise to greatness.
Who wants to be great? Who wants to be important? Is the one that hears the voice of God and willing to obey him. In this gathering today, I want you to know that God is inviting all of you and all of us to a life of greatness.
The funeral also featured song ministration, thanksgiving by family members. Late Archbishop Elijah Mbo is survived by his wife, both biological and spiritual children, and a host of others to mourn his demise. Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
And that's it on our business news. We thank you very much for being part of it. For me, it's good night.